super now!
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the times we realized we had more reason to side with Disney's villains than heroes.
Then let the game begin!
Number 10, Anton Ego, Ratatouille. Ego's arc isn't really about food. It's about remembering who you were before the world wore you down.
My last review condemned it to the tourist trade.
Yes, sir.
I said, Gusteau has finally found his rightful place in history right alongside another equally famous chef, Monsieur Boyardee.
Unlike Remy or Linguini, who, let's be honest, just got lucky, Ego's not wide-eyed or naive. He's been through it, built walls, and buried his younger self under cynicism and control.
I don't like food, I love it. If I don't love it, I don't swallow. I will return tomorrow night with high expectations.
But one bite of Ratatouille cracks that shell. Suddenly, he's a kid again, back in touch with the version of himself that felt joy without judgment. That moment changes everything. It's not just about nostalgia, it's reconnection. And that's what makes Ego so relatable. He changes not because he learned something new, but because he remembers something true and authentic. And honestly, he's so real for it.
I can't remember the last time I asked a waiter to give my compliments to the chef.
Number 9, Chernabog, Fantasia. Look, we know he's a giant winged demon, but we get it. Who hasn't wanted to just let everything loose? Rage, grief, chaos, all of it. No filter, no apology. While most villains might hide behind some kind of mask, he's not faking anything. He is the dark cloud, the meltdown, the part of us we keep locked up until it explodes. The wildest part is that for all his power, a church bell and a sunrise stop him cold. That hits us hard. No matter how strong we act, something soft always gets to us. Chernabog is the monster in the mirror, the one we try to ignore, but he's always there, just waiting. Number 8, Maleficent. Maleficent. We already thought Maleficent was relatable for her FOMO-fueled outburst.
I really felt quite distressed at not receiving an invitation.
You weren't wanted.
Not what? Oh dear, what an awkward situation. I had hoped it was merely due to some oversight.
Then the 2014 version added betrayal, heartbreak, and stolen wings. And while her actions might go a hairline too far, we can see where she's coming from. Stefan acts out of cruelty and greed, which forces Maleficent to hide behind her defenses to protect herself from getting hurt again.
But she made walls of her own, that the Moors might never again suffer the touch of any human. And she reveled in the sorrow that her curse had brought.
But what makes her stand out is that bitterness doesn't totally engulf her. Her connection with Aurora grows, perhaps against her better judgment. And in the end, she's the one who saves her, not out of obligation, but love. Underneath all the thorns and fury, she never stopped caring. That's what makes her feel human.
I was so lost in hatred and revenge. Sweet Aurora, you stole what was left of my heart.
Number 7, Gabby Gabby, Toy Story 4. When you break down Gabby Gabby's motives, it's hard to see her as a villain.
All I want is a chance for just one of those moments. I'd give anything to be loved the way you have.
All she wants is to be loved, but after decades of rejection because of her broken voice box, she's convinced that fixing it will finally make her worthy. Chasing Woody and Forky around an antique store to steal his voice box is definitely villainous, but she's not driven by evil.
I just want to talk.
Yeah, with my voice box.
Still, we're not sure Andy's favorite toy can truly grasp how it feels to crave the love and attention she's been denied. But we see her. After all, don't we all want someone who will love us, not because we've changed, but because they see us for who we are?
Are you us too?
I'm Gabby Gabby. Will you be my friend?
I'll help you.
Number 6. Edgar Balthazar, the Aristocats. Tell us you wouldn't be mad if after years of loyal service, your boss left everything to her cats. A mansion, a chateau, stocks, and bonds for pets?
Cats inherit first, and I come after the cats. Me after... No, it's not fair. Whoa.
What are they going to do? Start a hedge fund? Look, we're not defending Edgar's actions, but the man snapped, and honestly, that's totally fair. With the cost of living the way it often is, that inheritance could have meant an actual future.
Rock-a-bye kitties, bye-bye you go. La 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 la, and I'm in the dough. Oh, Edgar, you sly old fox.
Meanwhile, these cats are living like tiny furry royalty. If we were Edgar, we might have proposed a compromise. He gets the fortune if he takes care of the cats. If anything suspicious happens to them, then yeah, he loses everything.
You are going to Timbuktu if it's the last thing I do.
Number 5. Captain Hook, Peter Pan. In the original story, we don't get much history of Captain Hook and Peter Pan's relationship, other than the whole chopping off the hand and feeding it to a crocodile debacle.
I Captain. Cutting your hand off was only a childish prank, you might say.
Aye, but throwing it to that crocodile, that cursed beast liked the taste of me so well, he's followed me ever since.
Now that crocodile follows Hook around like an alarm clock with no off button. Of course he's angry, paranoid, and unraveling. He's a grown man being terrorized by a flying tween tyrant with no bedtime.
Say you're a codfish.
I'm a codfish.
Louder!
I'm a codfish!
Peter is no hero either. He's a full-scale brat who throws tantrums when things don't go his way. Meanwhile, Hook is basically what happens when you're tired, downtrodden, and hanging on by a thread while dreaming of a nap, a glass of wine, or 5 minutes of peace.
Well, a codfish on a hook.
I'll get you for this, Pan, if it's the last thing I do.
Number 4. Yzma, the Emperor's New Groove. Another loyal employee tossed aside after years of service, Yzma deserved better.
You're being let go, your department's being downsized, you're part of an outplacement. We're going in a different direction, we're not picking up your option, take your pick. I got more.
Sure, she might have overstepped once or twice, but since when was ambition a crime? Meanwhile, Kuzco was born into privilege and rules for one person, himself. He literally has a theme song guy.
He's the hippest cat in creation. He's the Alpha, the Omega, A to Z.
Yzma's been holding things together behind the scenes, only to get fired by the young emperor, whose biggest concern is pool placement. She's overlooked, age-shamed, and stuck under a career ceiling because her boss is a clueless man-child.
Now about you finding new work. That's gonna be tough.
More broccoli?
Because you're, I don't know, let's face it, you're no spring chicken. And I mean that in the best possible way.
What? A llama? He's supposed to be dead!
Sure, maybe the assassination plot was a bit much, but Kuzco got off easy with a short stint as a llama, all things considered. Yzma is basically corporate burnout in a snazzy purple ensemble.
Just think of it as you're being let go, that your life's going in a different direction, that your body's part of a permanent outplacement.
Hey, that's kind of like what he said to you when you got fired.
I know. It's called a cruel irony, like my dependence on you.
Number 3. Syndrome/Buddy, The Incredibles. You know how they say don't meet your heroes? Well, this is why.
This is because I don't have powers, isn't it? Well, not every superhero has powers, you know. You can be super without them. I invented these. I can fly. Can you fly?
Fly home, buddy. I work alone.
But it's not the only reason this Pixar villain resonates with us. The supers are born with powers, but Buddy, now Syndrome, has to work for his. He builds his own path to success with tech, wealth, influence, and yes, an evil island lair.
That's the way it works. Turns out there are a lot of people, whole countries, who want respect, and they will pay through the nose to get it. How do you think I got rich? I invented weapons, and now I have a weapon that only I can defeat.
Yet, underneath the cape and gadgets, he's just a kid who got rejected, and it stung. His whole philosophy comes from that bruised ego and buried pain. It's twisted, sure, but it's a response to gatekeeping and exclusion. He's basically saying, if the elite won't let me in, I'll tear down the pedestal. If that isn't relatable, what is?
I'll sell my invention so that everyone can be superheroes. Everyone can be super. And when everyone's super, no one will be.
Number 2, Queen of Hearts, Alice in Wonderland. It's admirable how Alice remains curious and carefree no matter what Wonderland throws at her. But if we're being honest, most of us are more like the Queen of Hearts.
Who dares to taint with vulgar paint the royal flower bed? For painting my roses red, someone will lose his head.
She rules over so much madness, constantly trying to assert control over unruly characters. When things don't go her way, she reacts with rage, which is unbelievably real of her.
Where do you come from, and where are you going?
I'm trying to find my way home.
Your way? Always here are my ways.
Plus, her paranoia about people undermining her position is basically the equivalent of trying to silence imposter syndrome. Like Chernabog, she's the side of us we keep hidden until it's safe to scream into the void. She's the relatable rage we try to contain, but it sneaks out when we're pushed too far.
Someone's head will roll for this.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Hades, Hercules. Alright, listen up. It's hard to relate to gods and demigods with their lofty goals of getting back to Mount Olympus. Hercules might be the hero, but Hades is also just trying to find a place where he belongs. And it sure as heck isn't the underworld.
How are things in the underworld?
Well, they're just fine. You know, a little dark, a little gloomy, and as always, hey, full of dead people. What are you gonna do?
Zeus dumped him there while everyone else parties upstairs. It's like being stuck in a dead-end job doing all the grunt work while others get the glory. Who wouldn't want something better?
Then the once proud Zeus will finally fall, and you, Hades, will rule all!
Yes, Hades rule!
So, yeah, when some kid threatens everything, of course he's got to take the reins. Villainy aside, he's just a guy trying to make his life a little better. Honestly, isn't that more relatable?
You give up your strength for about 24 hours. Okay, say the next 24 hours. And Meg here is free as a bird and safe from harm. We dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go home happy. What do you say? Come on.
Which Disney movie made you realize you might be better suited to be a villain than a hero? Let us know in the comments.
This is kind of important.
How about dessert?
Well, I suppose there's time for dessert.